Good morning. I want to teach you how to do what I call 5-minute French toast. Leslie Ross Lentz, a new friend of mine, posted French toast yesterday morning and it looked amazing, and I really want French toast, but I do not want to make bread and then slice the bread and then fry the bread, and it would be an all-day process and I would never get my French toast. So I decided I would use my mug muffins, and I'm doing an adaptation on them to make a bread that I'm going to slice and fry, and I hope I can make this French toast in about 5 minutes. So you start with the mug. I've sprayed mine so it won't stick. My husband hates when it sticks. And you're going to use a 1/4 cup of almond flour. You're going to use a tablespoon of coconut flour. You're going to use some baking powder. You're going to use about a fourth of a teaspoon. So this is baking powder. I mean, this is baking soda. We got to get it right. This is baking soda, and I'm adding this today because I did some research, and it adds a little extra leavening, and I want mine to be a little lighter than what it is, and I want to add a vinegar to it, and I want to kind of counteract that. So this is about a 1/16 of a teaspoon. I'm using the little 1/8 teaspoon that came with my set, and I kind of hollowed it out a little bit. So you don't want very much. You want about a fourth of what you would put in baking powder. And since I don't have my fourth out with me, I'm just going to do 2/8, because 2/8 equal a fourth. So I'm putting about a fourth of a teaspoon of baking powder in. But I am going to add a cinnamon pear vinegar. I mean, because that'll, I think, and I'm just going to add a teaspoon of it. Like vinegar, gross, but it actually makes food so amazing. And then I'm also going to add some extra cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle some in. Woo, that was a lot. That was about a 1/2 teaspoon. I didn't mean to put that much in. And I'm going to use some butter olive oil. And I put a tablespoon of oil in. So I think it even maybe calls for 2. I'm going to put in 2 because I think I didn't do that the last time. And I'm going to go ahead while I've got this out, and I'm going to throw a tablespoon or 2 on my frying pan, which I've not got on yet. So, good way to get your oils in. And then I'm going to add an egg. So, that's my bread. I'm going to give it a really good stir with a fork. And I'm going to put this on the microwave for 90 seconds. You could probably bake this in the oven if you're an anti-microwave person. I don't know how long that would be. You would have to figure that out. But in the next 90 seconds, while we're waiting, I'm going to take a flat pan because I need to be able to dip. I'm going to put an egg. And I did forget one thing in my batter that I meant to put in with some sweetener. I was going to put in a little bit of vanilla cream sweetener, but I can't do that now. So next time, we'll see. If this isn't as sweet as I would like it, I will do that the next time. And I'm using a little compliant milk. I'm using hemp milk, and I'm going to shake it up. I've never used hemp milk, so this is kind of new for me. Just a little bit. Mostly you want the egg. And then I'm just going to stir that up as best I can in a flat plastic bowl. And then in my bowl, I'm going to add some of that sweetener. Just a few drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And a little bit of cinnamon. I really want a cinnamony French toast. And we're down to 9 seconds. Stir that up. Okay, it looks good. Now I'm going to get a little mat out. Okay, so get something to cut on. Dump this out on my mat. And I have a little loaf of bread. I use this bread all the time. I normally put in a savory oil, and it makes it very savory. So I'm going to slice it into 4 slices. I make 4 nice slices. That is my dachshund who thinks he has to bark at everything. And now I'm going to take my egg mixture. I'm going to go ahead and turn up my skillet. Remember, my stove heats very quickly, probably much faster than most people's stoves. So I want it to get hot though, a little bit. Because you want to use a hot stove, works best. Smell that starting to heat up. So I'll dip my bread and I will lay it in the pan. And I want to get it crispy. I like mine crispy. This toasts really well as bread. You won't probably use all of your mixture. This one's falling apart. Here, I will let that do its thing. Gather up some of my messies. And if you like my recipes and you like watching me cook, I love having people in my kitchen. Please join me at Sheila B. Cooks on Facebook. Depending upon when you see this, I probably have some event going on, so check out what's going on my page and feel free to join it. There's never any obligation ever. I just really like to share my kitchen with people. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. And I'm using butter. I like to cook with flavored olive oils. I just think it really gives something special to it. I want to see how we'll do in here. Ooh, that's getting a little done. I think I waited a little too long. It does not take much to toast these up. So watch your thing. Mine are going to be a little bit burnt. I'll turn my oven stove down just a bit. And then I will top them with a little bit of cinnamon sugar and maybe a little Lakanko syrup. Grab that out. This stuff is awesome. There's also Yacon syrup, which mine hasn't arrived yet, so I'm hoping it'll come today. But I love this stuff as a syrup. And I would say this is probably done. So then I will just put them on my plate. Turn off my stove. Oh, got them a little bit overdone. So maybe have your skillet not quite as high as mine was. And I will sprinkle them. One thing about Kenko's powdered is that it does kind of clog up your, there we go. It does clog up your screen just a bit. There we go. I always end up shaking it all over my kitchen. And top it with a little syrup. I'm not going to use any butter because I've already used lots of oil. And there is my pancakes. My things. Now that was 10 minutes as how long this video has been. So 10-minute French toast from nothing to bread and toast. Bye.